What's going on, folks? It's Dr. Jerry. Sorry, we had a little bit of a tech issue, but now we are good to go. We are going to start this session, actually. So I'm very, very excited to talk about the 7 strategies for your entrepreneurial mindset. I am extremely excited about this. Just wanted to make sure. Yep, we ready to go. All right. So, 7 strategies for expanding your entrepreneurial mindset. One of the things about the entrepreneurial mindset, I think that I'm going to talk to you about today is not necessarily about launching your own company. That's like a whole different atmosphere, launching your own company. But you can have an entrepreneurial mindset. There are people who work within a company who have that entrepreneurial spirit. It's called entrepreneurship. Have an idea, put it in the company, and it explodes. Like, for example, right now there's a movie out there that Eva Longoria directed, or had a director role or executive producer role, about the hot Cheetos, right? An individual who worked within the company, and created this or enhanced the hot Cheetos, and that's an example, having the entrepreneurial mindset, entrepreneurial spirit, a mindset for within a company. And that's a lot of times what can happen for folks having that type of entrepreneurial mindset. So if you're like, man, how can I expand that? How can I build that? You probably already have it within you. It's just expanding on that mindset, because in today's world, in the 21st century, it's highly important, highly critical to have that entrepreneurial spirit, that entrepreneurial mindset, whether you're working for somebody, or whether it's a for-profit or even nonprofit sector. It's important to have that in those critical times, more than ever. I remember years ago, I was at a meeting with this individual who owned a number of McDonald's restaurants, and he sold them, and he got into the nonprofit world, and he got into that mindset of, what he had in the for-profit sector, he brought into the nonprofit sector. He's like, you got to start thinking like an entrepreneur. You got to start thinking like a for-profit company if you want this nonprofit to survive. Um, and so he had that mindset. So we're talking about the how and the why. So I'm Dr. J. I am a certified practitioner of the entrepreneurial mindset profile. I'm also an entrepreneurial mindset program facilitator through the Ice House. So I've published research as well, mostly in open education. I have created open education content in entrepreneurship. And you can check out my website as well, so which I will post up as well. And so that's just about me. I have dabbed in startups as well. The entrepreneur mindset is one of my favorite topics to discuss. I do teach, and so I've taught entrepreneurship courses. I have a number of recordings as well that you can see on my YouTube channel at Dr. J Real Talk. If you go on the YouTube search, or if you're watching this through YouTube, you'll see that. Talk about the entrepreneurial mindset. So vast experience in that field, working for-profit and nonprofit sectors. So I have a vast amount of experience with the entrepreneurial mindset topic, living it, and of course that research experience. So what is the entrepreneurial mindset? If you look up the entrepreneurial mindset, there is a vast amount of definitions out there, um, that are just there's just a lot. And a lot of times, what I try to tell folks is that the entrepreneurial mindset doesn't always necessarily mean that you're going to launch a company. It doesn't necessarily, again, doesn't mean that, oh, I have the entrepreneurial mindset, I'm going to go launch a company, right? It takes a whole different aspects of launching a company than just having the entrepreneurial mindset. You can have an entrepreneurial mindset and go work for someone, whether that's in the for-profit sector or the nonprofit sector, right? It's different tangibles that when you go start a company than from working within a company. Real quick example, right? When you go start a company, just to put this in plain sight, and then we'll move on from this. When you go start a company, you have a lot of freedom in the sense of, here's a company, I'm going to launch it, I'm going to make decisions that'll eventually help grow my company. When you have the entrepreneurial mindset working within a company, right, there's a lot of, perhaps a lot of ropes that you have to get through, a lot of things that have to happen. It doesn't happen quickly as you want it to. um, if you're not in that sect and you just want to have the entrepreneurial mindset for within yourself, especially in this 21st century where we're facing globalization, where we are in globalization and having a competition everywhere, it's important to have the entrepreneurial mindset. Uh, Even if you are in the whether you are in a for-profit or nonprofit sector, even education, you have to have that entrepreneurial mindset because it is empirical to be on top, to stay competitive. Um, right, the entrepreneurial mindset is defined as a combination of traits and skills that identify opportunities, right? Whether it's in a business context or not, seeing opportunities and taking advantage of those opportunities wherever you see fit. uh, Again, it's all about opportunities, it's about innovation. How do I innovate the classroom, right? How do I innovate my workspace? How do I innovate the organization that I work for? It's all about finding the next ways of doing things better. The old ways of doing things doesn't always work. And so how do I find new opportunities and new innovation for my company to grow, for my organization to grow, for my classroom to be a better learning environment? That's what having an entrepreneur mindset is about. Again, it's about discovering, evaluating, and exploring opportunities. As you can see here, the different varieties, all about opportunities. Seeing those opportunities and taking advantage of. I can even say for myself and my experiences in my life, I've always found opportunities that laid in front of me and I took advantage of it, whether it's in education, whether it's in business. I took advantage of those opportunities to enhance myself and to make myself a much more competitive individual and to stay on top of what's the new things. Awareness and focus of identifying opportunity, right? If you see and here's another thing about having an entrepreneurial mindset. If you see a problem, you see a solution. You don't necessarily see a problem as like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. How many times have you been out in the out there working, whether whatever you work in, and somebody sees a problem and they say, "Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world." Yet someone else who has an entrepreneurial mindset says, "There is a problem. Let's look at the opportunity that lays in front of us. Take it over that hump." Right? You see a problem, but you move from and you see opportunity through solving a problem. I think that's one of the most important things about that entrepreneurial mindset. Solving a problem, identifying an opportunity through solving a problem. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I can talk about, having that entrepreneur mindset spirit. Hey, I like this cup that I have here. It's not necessarily always about hustle, right? There's a lot of people who have that hustle mentality. It's again, it's not always about being a hustler, right? You can be a hustler. You can hustle, but that hustle culture, always being on the goal 24/7. If there is a goal in mindset, that's different, but if you're just hustling to hustle and with no end goal in sight, what's the point? It's just like running on a treadmill with no goal in mindset, right? Um so again, entrepreneur mindset, the biggest thing is about identifying opportunities and moving towards that. So now the seven traits that you talked about, what are the seven traits that I've been talking about that you're like, what in the world is that talking about? I don't know what are you talking about. There are seven things to expand on your entrepreneurial mindset, and these are the seven things that you can do right now to expand on that entrepreneurial mindset. Um, the first one, of course, is adopt an experimental mindset. Uh, Experimentation and risk. So that talks about risk taking, right? Be willing to explore the untested and unknown, right? Think about specific areas in your job that you can experiment and develop to make that happen. Whether you're working for a company, whether you have your own company, whether you're in education, explore the unknown. I'll give you an example. I for a long time I teach this class, and one of the assignments I've had for a long time was typically an essay assignment, 2-page paper. Here's a prompt, answer the questions. I realized over the last year or two, especially now with AI coming into the classroom, which is unavoidable, I said, okay, students are coming into the college classroom probably a year or two behind because of COVID, right? We're talking about the average 18, 19, 20-year old that comes into the classroom, even if they're not the average, other, adults as well, sometimes come behind in their writing skills. Um, this is an introductory course, so it's not like a high level course. It's just an introductory course. And I'm thinking, you know what? I already given an essay assignment. Do I really have to make this essay, the second essay assignment, a typical essay, writing prompt of, write the paragraph and find me some resources? I said, let me change things up. Let me experiment with something different. Let me have them go find a cartoon that's related to the topic, right? Some political cartoon that's related, that of course here is a website they could look for, and answer these questions, right? It's not just about finding the political cartoon, it's about answering the questions that relate to this. How does it relate to the course or the topic, and explain all these things. I experimented with it. I didn't know what was going to happen. It explored into the unknown, and it worked out finally. And it took me a while to adopt that kind of an experimental attitude into the classroom, to just try new ways and things of students to learn. That's what you should do. Seek the unknown, see what happens, have a plan, and see what the results are. If it doesn't work, explain why, see what happened, like what were the results and why were they different from what you expected. The other one is managing change effectively. To remain competitive, you need to continuously change and adapt. Um, Embracing change. I mean, you have to embrace change. Change is going to happen in the workplace or not in the workplace. Change is going to happen. There's nothing that you can, like, for example, I mean, almost every job site or everywhere uses electronics of some sorts. Tablet, computer, clocking in, clocking out, getting information. Change is happening. And it's not necessarily that the change is going to happen, which it is. It's how you manage that change effectively. How do you take it in? How can you maneuver quickly to manage that change that is going to happen? If you can manage change effectively, that makes you much more of a powerful individual. It makes you more effective, and definitely helps your entrepreneurial mindset, because that's what an entrepreneurship mindset is about. How do you manage change effectively? For example, if you're an educator, how do you manage AI in the classroom? It's going to happen no matter what you do. AI is coming into the classroom, and there's no way around it. It's going to happen. It's like when laptops were first introduced into the classroom. A lot of professors try to. I remember at a time where laptops were being seen more in the classroom, and a lot of the professors had a policy: no laptops, no electronics in the classroom. Paper and pencil, and you had to write your stuff down. After a while, they started accepting laptops in the classroom. Now it's like unavoidable. You don't see a laptop or a tablet in the classroom with students writing notes. I don't even know who really writes notes in paper anymore, but maybe some people do. But the point is it's going to happen, and how do you manage that change effectively, right? Passionate, right? Being passionate about what is important and fundamental aspect of your entrepreneurial mindset, right? I think passion. Do you give the challenging assignments at increasing their skills? um how much passion do you have? Can that passion brush off in a positive way around you, to your environment? High levels of ambition, I think that's an important one. Energy, drive, and initiative. You have to really push yourself. You have to have that strong ambition and energy and drive to continue forward, especially during challenging times. Anticipating is a crucial element, the way of thinking, right? You have to anticipate things that are going to come, and how you make those decisions. Um, Second to last, right? Be open and upbeat. I think you really have to be open to change. You have to be open to the surroundings around you. It's very difficult if you are a very stubborn person and set in your own ways and not figuring out that things are changing around you, right? Um, if you are, you have to be open to the environment. You have to be open to the changing times that's going on. That is just unavoidable, right? For example, things are changing, right? Like uh, when you get your ticket, your airline ticket, right now you just scan it through phone most of the time. It's really rare now that you'll see a paper ticket. I mean, you can still get a paper ticket, but that's slowly dying away. Again, you just have to be open and upbeat to your surroundings. And the last one I think is an important one about expanding your entrepreneurial mindset is about pushing the standards. What's one of the most important things about pushing your standards, not being confined to just, okay, let me just get it done and that's it, right? Push the standards. If this is the standards, make it above that, right? Just expand a little bit about more, pushing more your standards for quality performance. Always be looking for ways to improve and establish a mindset that continual change and improvement is the norm in your organization, right? Figure out ways to make yourself better every single day. So those are the seven traits that you can that the seven things that you can do to expand your entrepreneurial mindset. And you don't have to focus on all seven at first. Try one, go little by little, have anticipation or be open or have passion, manage change effectively. I think one of the things that of the seven that may be much more challenging to do is managing change effectively. Some people just do not do very well with change. You can see it in them, you can tell they just do not do very well with change. So have much more manage change effectively. So one of the things I mentioned was I am a certified practitioner of the entrepreneurial mindset profile. The EMP, or short for EMP, is an empirically based, cutting edge online assessment tool based on research on traits, motivations, and skills of entrepreneurs. It measures your entrepreneurial mindset on 14 dimensions, and of course, I have a YouTube video up where I talk to folks from the Entrepreneurial Mindset Profile about what the EMP is and how is it positive for an individual, whether or not they want to start their own business. It's not the point, but having taken the assessment, and so you can watch that video on my YouTube channel. We talk about the Entrepreneurial Mindset Profile. So it talks about those 14 dimensions that talk about the idea generation, execution, future focus, and action orientation, just to name a few. And so, if you haven't taken the mindset profile, I highly encourage you to take the mindset profile to measure your 14 dimensions. As a certified practitioner of this, I can definitely have you take the mindset profile. We can go over that profile assessment. We can also do it for a company organization. And the cool thing is that we can actually measure all those results from the people. Like, let's say, for example, you want me to come out and do it for your organization, for a specific department. We can get all their scores as well and measure that to see how the overall department or the group measures when it comes to the entrepreneur mindset. So I do want to let you, as I kind of wrap up here, I do want to let you know about this upcoming. I am actually going to put the link up here in the chat as well, the registration link. So come on out to a workshop that I am hosting Saturday, October 7th at Northeastern Illinois University, which is in the north side of Chicago. I highly encourage you to come out. It's in person. Right now, we don't have any Zoom capabilities for this, but maybe in the future, perhaps. But I definitely highly encourage you to come out to this wonderful workshop. So you will get the opportunity to take the profile assessment, and then we'll talk about your results. And of course, you'll be given actually a playbook or a book where of course, you'll get your results. You have that printed out, and you also get a playbook to continue. Okay, how do I continue to explore this result? How do I continue to be better? So it's definitely a great workshop. Come on out, register today. I will provide donuts. So come on out, book your seats. So the link is in the chat. So definitely come on out. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am going to put my email in the chat as well. So you can definitely reach out to me and email me if you have any questions about registration. Bring out your organization as well. Bring out some few folks out to this great event. I highly encourage you all to come on out. So I will be doing that. And just check out me on social media. You can follow me at JPHD18. So you can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me um, on Facebook, Twitter. You can also make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can check out my websites. And I definitely highly encourage you to check out the Entrepreneurial Mindset Academy. That's Entrepreneurial Mindset Academy for more resources as well. So I am actually going to, let's see, put this as well on the website, oh, sorry, on the chat box. So check it out as well for another resource. So that is that. I hope you enjoyed this. I highly encourage you all to come on out to the event on October 7th at Northeastern Illinois University. So I'll leave you with that. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and check you all next time.